If you get time for one more question, others are asking, Chris in particular, about the great offensive tackle out of IMG Academy, Bradenton, Florida, Francis Mauigoa.
Yeah.
I don't think I pronounced that correctly, but 6'5", 330, and Miami shot at him.
I think he needs to come back for another visit. I think he came down for a camp situation, and IMG is always notoriously stingy in the springtime because they're a mercenary squad, to be perfectly honest. Their roster turns over every single year. They're going to have guys who go back to their home schools in their home areas, and then they're going to get guys from other places to come on down. But then they instill that college mentality. It's Oak Hill Academy for football. It's a football factory, and they are very intensive over the spring in terms of installing their program, and everything like that. And when they have required times to be there in Bradenton, which is why you see all of them going to specific events. They usually plan on, because it's closer, they plan to have everybody from IMG go to the Orlando opening regional, because they're like, cool, we will not schedule anything on campus football related for that weekend. We will take everyone and go over there for that. But then that also precludes players from going other places on other weekends. So Francis Mauigoa is one of the guys that has an offer from Miami at offensive tackle. He's one of the guys that Miami is pushing for. I would say if I go back to my music background, superior, excellent, good, fair, poor. From top to bottom, I would say fair to fair plus chance. So maybe, like a C-ish range. There just needs to be more connectivity between player and program to really move that up. But, if that does not improve, there are lots of other players as well that Miami is chasing after. I believe Madden Sanker has set his official visit to Miami coming up in a couple of weeks here in June as a 4-star offensive lineman. There's another kid from Don Bosco Prep. I forget his name, but he was just down on an unofficial visit. I believe he's planning to come back for an official visit as well. So even though his name escapes me at this very moment, there are other guys on the board. So, yeah, again, I think it's getting a player of the caliber for the slot as opposed to getting an individual specific player. Especially, I don't believe that Francis Mauigoa is from Florida. And, hey, I've said his name a bunch of times, so this is, unintentional publicity. But Bud Elliott has written a couple pieces over the years, both at SB Nation and now at his new home at 247 Sports, looking at doing some data disaggregation of where IMG players go for college. And I think there's a very high correlation to the fact of guys going back to the areas that they are from originally for college. Because, again, that's a boarding school. So, if they're from California, more often than not, they're going to go to California or go back out west. If you're from South Carolina, you're going to go that way. Now, there are exceptions to that rule. Brian Hightower played at Corona Centennial and then signed with your Miami Hurricanes coming out of IMG. One of the few. But, yeah, I think it's a very high correlation. It's like 75, 80% of players go back to their home areas for college. So with that being the case, and I don't believe that Mauigoa is from here, I would say look at that correlation maybe to be a factor in his recruitment as well moving forward.